So, I am on a mission to assimilate to Japanese culture as much as possible. And Ben and I recently watched this show called Kantaro, the Sweet Tooth Salaryman. It's about a salesman who likes to play hooky from work to go try sweets around Tokyo. But the thing is, they're all real places in Tokyo. Each episode focuses on a different dessert and a different shop. So I thought it'd be fun, in an effort to learn more about Japanese culture through desserts, to go try every shop in the show.
And these places are the real deal. I would consider myself to be fairly well versed in Japanese food even before moving here, but a majority of these desserts I hadn't even heard of, let alone tried. So in this video, I'm going to be hitting up 8 different iconic dessert shops in Tokyo for an authentic Japanese sweets experience. And our first stop is the perfect example of this. This is HATSUNE, where we'll be trying Anmitsu. I'm so excited to start with one of Tokyo's oldest traditional sweet shops. HATSUNE was founded in 1837 during the late Edo period and has been run by the same family ever since. It's currently in its 7th generation. While they do serve a variety of wagashi, today we're here to try Anmitsu as Kantaro did. And this is our first dessert of the video that I have never heard of before. Anmitsu is comprised of kanten or agar jelly cubes made from seaweed, anko or sweet red bean paste, fresh fruits, boiled red peas or rice flour dumplings, and the mitsu sugar syrup. To start, I'm opting for the white syrup for no particular reason other than it just seems a little bit lighter. This combination of ingredients is admittedly a little foreign to me, but one thing I'm going to learn throughout this video is that the Japanese have such an impressive grasp on flavor profiles. Everything in this little bowl worked so well together. It was perfectly sweet, but not too sweet. I found it to be light and refreshing, and the size was a perfect portion for a sweet little treat, despite the American in me slightly craving a bigger size. But that's exactly the point of Anmitsu. It's a timeless Japanese dessert meant to reflect the Japanese ideals of balance and subtlety, and being in this traditional little shop, drinking tea from the old-fashioned iron kettle, it's easy to feel that rich cultural heritage tied to this simple dessert. Next, we're on our way to try yet another unknown dessert to me because it's the even more toned-down cousin of Anmitsu, Mamekan. This is IRIE, where we'll be trying Mamekan. It's a cozy old-school cafe located in Koto City that invites patrons to settle in and have a slow, savory experience. Like HATSUNE, they started by bringing out tea right away, which is such a nice touch, and despite them offering a few different versions of the dessert, I knew I was looking for the traditional Mamekan. This is an extremely simple dish featuring kanten, again the firm jelly-like cubes made from seaweed, mame, the slightly cooked sweetened beans, and again a white or brown sugar syrup. This time, having ordered the white syrup with my Anmitsu, I opted for the richer, thicker brown syrup so that I could get to try everything. Unlike Anmitsu with its variety of toppings, Mamekan is intentionally made to be as simple as possible. It focuses on the quality of ingredients and the idea that simplicity does not equal a lack of anything. It also serves as an interesting contrast to the more opulent or overloaded foods and desserts that Japan has arguably become more commonly known for on the internet in modern history, which is something coming up at our next spot. In comparison to Anmitsu though, Mamekan was a little too pared down for me personally. It was very, very good, don't get me wrong, but nothing to necessarily write home about. That being said, the menu did explain that their specialty, kanten, the jelly-like cubes, are rich in dietary fiber and extremely low in calories, so with that in mind, I could completely understand how this would be almost a healthier alternative to scratch that itch when you're craving something sweet. Moving right along, this is KAJITSUEN Fruit Parlor, where we will be trying the seasonal fruit parfait. The parlor is located inside Tokyo Station, which is always a sensory nightmare for me. This is also the first line I've encountered, which is something I'd been bracing myself for, given the Japanese's seeming indifference to queuing up, something I can't quite understand. The line took about 20 minutes, which passed faster than I expected, and I was excited to try the decadent strawberry parfait that is the winter seasonal specialty. With its own dedicated page on the menu, perfect, easy, right? Wrong. My server then flips to a handwritten chart with hand-drawn strawberries. I have no idea what she wants from me. Google Translate is giving me complete and utter nonsense, so after what felt like an eternity of failed communication, I resort to the trusty osusume. So I have no idea what I actually ended up ordering, but look at this beauty. A tower of delicately placed strawberries nestled in freshly whipped cream, and hidden underneath, just out of sight, 2 deliciously balanced scoops of ice cream, 1 vanilla and 1 strawberry, of course. Based on first impressions, I thought I was going to have a lot more difficulty finishing this than I actually did, just based on the size. But God bless the Japanese, their desserts really do err on the lighter side compared to American desserts, and this colossal parfait really ended up being mostly just strawberries and whipped cream, which I personally preferred. I loved how fruit-forward and light this dessert was. Everything paired perfectly together, though it is hard to go wrong with this combination, and the seasonal quality of the fruit was really able to shine through, which I understand to be the intended purpose of this dessert. 10 out of 10, delicious. Next up, this is Coffee Tengoku, where we will be trying hotcakes. Located in the historic Asakusa near Sensoji Temple, I was slightly hesitant that this might be a tourist spot, given its location and proximity to what is now a more tourist-dense area. But in Kantaro I trust, and this is anything but a trap. Coffee Tengoku was established in 2005, but styled to feel like a post-war Showa-era coffee house. It's cozy and comforting, especially on a gloomy day like today. All of the batter for the hotcakes are made to order and mixed fresh to ensure each and every hotcake is crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside. The surface is branded with the character for Tengoku, meaning heaven, and are served with butter, maple syrup, and a cup of coffee. In following Kantaro, I've decided to try the hotcakes as he did. First plain, then only with butter, then only with maple syrup, and finally all of the ingredients combined. I gotta admit, I'm not really a pancake person in my normal life, but the recontextualization of what I know to be an American breakfast food to the Japanese afternoon dessert made the experience feel so much more like a treat. And there are key differences between the American pancake and the Japanese hotcake. Hotcakes are thought to be thicker, fluffier, and softer than the Western counterpart, more like a light sponge cake. And in what I'm beginning to realize is just true Japanese fashion, it's meant to be simple and satisfying. Hotcakes came to popularity during the Showa era in the mid-1900s and now carry a nostalgic retro feel in Japanese culture. They're an approachable dessert to all ages and backgrounds, a reminder of the value of a well-made, humble dish, and a delightful way to spend the afternoon. Now, this is one I have been particularly looking forward to. For our first taste of matcha, this is KINOZEN, known for their Matcha Bavarian. This is actually another dessert I was previously unfamiliar with, but the promise of matcha made this spot one that I was especially excited to try. Fun fact, KINOZEN was actually closed in 2022, but due in large part to the popular demand of the Matcha Bavarian, they were able to reopen in 2025, which has sparked my intrigue around this dish even more. The line only took about 15 minutes before I was led downstairs to a beautifully decorated seating area. I think I accidentally shocked the waitress as I ordered the Matcha Bavarian without so much as glancing at the menu. Matcha Bavarian is a Japanese take on the German and French Bavarian cream. It's described in the show as being a tasteful blend of Eastern and Western traditions. It represents innovation and a marriage of global culinary techniques. For this version, the Bavarian cream is infused with high-quality matcha powder. It's accompanied by a dollop of fresh whipped cream and a scoop of anko red bean paste. I am a big fan of Japan's sweet red bean paste desserts, but the combination of beans with the pudding-like Bavarian and whipped cream seemed like it could be an odd experience texturally. However, I need to stop hesitating when it comes to Japan's choice of ingredient combos because they know what they're doing. And this was so good. The matcha cut through the sweetness of the whipped cream and the sweet beans with absolutely no astringency. The whipped cream was dense yet airy in that way that only freshly whipped cream can be, and the anko provided a sort of grounding quality to its otherwise very light counterparts. And all in all, it was a perfectly fused blend of elements.
That one was amazing. I'm guessing I do have a more Western palate because that one was my favorite one so far.
Surprise, surprise, we're at yet another spot with a dessert I'd never heard of before watching this show. This is Takeno to Ohagi, where we'll be trying, as the name implies, Ohagi. I was careful to get here early as I'd heard they have a habit of selling out before closing time, and I was met with this stunning array of decorative rice balls. Ohagi is a traditional wagashi made from glutinous rice wrapped in anko sweet bean paste, and from what I understand, ohagi is not usually this artistically created, but Takenoto Ohagi has built a reputation for itself through its visual designs and refined craft, transforming a traditionally humble treat into an artisan experience. The shop offers a rotating menu of 9 different ohagi options on a day-to-day basis. I have yet again osusumed and ended up with 5 of the shopkeeper's favorites. I am obsessed with the little box, but inside we have the Edo Murasaki with fig compote and butterfly pea, velvet rose with raspberry and black cacao, pumpkin with purple sweet potato, coconut with matcha, and strawberry with strawberry jelly and cinnamon. Ohagi is typically tied to Ohigan, the spring and autumn equinox, and is usually enjoyed with family or as an offering on altars. Takenoto Ohagi has been able to take this deeply traditional dessert and blend it with more modern creativity, allowing it to appeal to younger patrons year-round without losing its historical origins. The rice is dense and only slightly sweet, making it feel a bit more like a filling snack than a classic dessert. It's chewy and sticky and delightful to move from one flavor to the next. Each rice ball has a distinct flavor profile despite it being a majority rice, and after enjoying all of my ohagi in the park, I decided I had to go back to get some more to take home for Van. Ume? 桜じゃないです。桜はまだ早い。とても綺麗です。綺麗ですけど。あ、そうそう、これはプラム。そう。すごい。ここでおはぎ。すごい。I went to America. 好きですか？はい。ここは一番。アメリカもありますか？アメリカ？じゃない。ない。
That was such a nice interaction. I really need to work on my Japanese though, oh my god.
As I'd feared, this place does have a penchant for selling out, but luckily 2 of my favorites from the 5 I tried were still available. 公園で食べました。美味しかったです。一つお願いします。And I was able to bring back a little taste for Van to enjoy. Moving on to the shop and episode that inspired this entire pilgrimage, this is Minimal, the bean-to-bar craft chocolate destination. Though I'd hardly consider chocolate to be traditionally Japanese, this place's dedication to craft and quality feels extremely connected to the Japanese ideas of kinokokoro and shokunin, which sort of represent the inner alignment of spirit and intention with the outer expression of mastery and service. I think it's akin to the way traditional Japanese builders would align the planks of wood to be in the same orientation as the tree they came from. But bringing it back to chocolate, I needed to try the place that puts so much thought and energy into my personal favorite dessert, and I was so happy to have Van join me for this one. We ended up splurging a little bit and got the chocolate tasting menu, the chocolate apple pie, and the chai strawberry hot chocolate. The cacao beans here are sourced directly from cacao farms around the world, so we got to try a sample of chocolate specially curated from Ghana, Colombia, Peru, and Trinidad and Tobago. These bite-sized samples were accompanied by some roasted black tea, coffee, and even the raw cacao pulp, highlighting the shop's dedication to its specialty ingredient. However, what stole the show for me, much to my surprise, was the chocolate apple pie. This might be the most delicious thing I've ever put into my mouth. I don't know if I can even do this justice, but the rich chocolate ice cream paired with the notes of fruit along with the warm flaky crust was just to die for. This was not a light treat like many of the Japanese desserts leading up to it. This was luxury. Hearty, rich decadence on a plate. I was in heaven. So I'm ashamed to say the chai strawberry hot chocolate probably got an unfair chance in following me gorging myself on my new all-time favorite dessert. Nevertheless, it was made with a thick, rich dark chocolate, and the chai gave it a really nice earthy undertone, and I probably would have really loved this one if I wasn't already approaching my chocolate intake maximum. After this experience, I can completely see why Minimal is a globally recognized and awarded specialty chocolate shop revered for its quality and innovation.
This?
Yeah.
This.
All of them are your favorite?
No.
Oh wait, do it again. Finally, for our last stop, this is Waguria, where we will be trying the Mont Blanc. Nestled in an old Tokyo-style shopping street, Waguria specializes in chestnut-themed desserts. And though the Mont Blanc is a traditionally French dessert, it became lovingly adopted by the Japanese in the mid-20th century. I have never tried any kind of Mont Blanc before, but if I've learned anything through this experience, I am unsurprised to find out that the Japanese version of a Mont Blanc has a more subtle sweetness and a more specialized focus on the earthy seasonality of the chestnut. Upon trying the dessert though, dare I say they could have gone even subtler with the sweetness, but the accompanying tea did a wonderful job of balancing it all out. The Mont Blanc consists of a chestnut puree piped into spaghetti-like strands on a creamy base and topped with grilled apples. These are most popular in the fall and winter when the chestnuts are in peak season, and the Mont Blanc here at Waguria is specifically made without any alcohol or heavy spices, so that the natural flavor of the chestnut can shine through. All in all, kind of a perfect dessert to end on, as it encompasses some of the core tenets of Japanese dessert philosophy, such as seasonality, subtlety, and balance. Thank you for joining me on this Japanese sweets pilgrimage around Tokyo. I hope you found it interesting, or at least entertaining, and I had so much fun making it, but there's actually one shop I wasn't able to make it to, so if you're interested in a part 2, let me know any of your favorite spots around Tokyo. With that said, follow along for more, and I'll see you soon. Bye!